James Carville, so right now we've gone through, let's run through some polls real quick with you that we went through last hour and get your read on it. In Pennsylvania, you got Joe Biden up by 10 points. Another poll has him up by 8 points. This is all yesterday. Another poll has him up by 7 points. The Fox News poll has him up by 5 points. In Iowa, the latest Monmouth poll puts Biden up by 3. New York Times Siena poll also has Biden up by 3. The Emerson poll has Trump up by 2. So that looks like it's a pretty close race. In Florida, both the latest CNN and Reuters poll shows Joe Biden up by 4 points. And in Michigan, the Fox News poll has Biden up by 12, 52 to 40%. In Wisconsin, the Fox News poll has Biden up by 5 points, 49 to 44%. In Arizona, the latest Reuters poll has Biden up with a 3-point lead. In Ohio, Fox News has Donald Trump up by 3 points. And in Texas, the Q poll has it tied. Now, you know, James, that every Democrat across America, they're usually paranoid anyway about election results, expecting Republicans to figure out how they're going to steal an election from them. This year, they're especially paranoid. But I remember before the election in 2016, you were quietly warning people that would listen that race was not locked up. I'm curious what your thoughts are 4 years later looking at these polls.
Yeah, let me build on what President Obama said. I say here in New Orleans, you know, we have our own language. We got to win by more than 5, and that's no jive. If this thing gets anything close, it will be stolen from you. That's a fact. The courts, the federal courts, are completely stacked in the Republicans' favor. He will do anything he can. So, yeah, do I think that we're going to, quote, win? Yes. But the idea here, and that no Democrat can remotely have any complacency, because we have to win by a lot. Now, we have a chance to do that. But here in the next little less than 2 weeks, we have to close that deal. We're starting to close it now when you look at these early vote numbers. But, I mean, there's no moment for I'm optimistic, but the last thing I am is complacent in this. And there are a sufficient number of Republican identifiers that would tell you that there's some likelihood that this could close. I don't know that it will, but I think President Obama was right on the money in his remarks that we just heard here. I really do.
Hey, James, it's Willie. We just got some new polls rolling in from Morning Consult. You can do with them what you will, but they show Joe Biden up 7 points in Michigan, up 7 in Florida, up 16 in Colorado, up 9 in Pennsylvania, up 12 in Wisconsin. Those just came off the presses. You told me a couple of years ago when we were talking about the 2016 campaign that you were tired of hearing about people's algorithms, that they had these machines that were going to tell them exactly what was going to happen. And you indicated in your own way that you also had an algorithm up here that won a couple of presidential elections. So what is the James Carville algorithm telling him about how this is going to play out?
I think by and large, Americans are sick of living like this. I really do. And I think what Trump has done his whole campaign is the best thing he could do for Biden and the country. He's made it all about him. And, you know, we say it's the economy, stupid, or it's about this. And what Trump has successfully done is put himself right at the center of this election and made the election totally about him. And so it's kind of weird. I've never seen a more personality-centric election in my life, particularly in the middle of a recession and a pandemic. But the number one issue in America is not the coronavirus, it's not the economy, it's not foreign policy or anything like that, or prescription drug costs. The number one issue in this campaign is Donald Trump. I mean, that is the basis on which people are voting against and voting for. And he has some instinct that his base will come out and support him, and I think that he's correct in that instinct. I think we're going to have a high turnout in these kind of Trumpy areas. But what we saw in 2018 was where we actually had swing voters and you had this enormous shift in the suburbs. I also do think that there's sufficient evidence to say that we're cutting into his base. It will support him. It will support him strongly, but it will not be as overwhelming as it was in 2016. And I think that is a key factor in this election. But again, I say that look at these polls for what you want. If you want to get rid of Donald Trump, you don't just have to beat him. You literally have to annihilate him. You have to beat him by more than 5 points in order to ensure that we have a smooth transition of power and we can get we can get our lives back. Because without that, it's going to continue to be this whole.
So thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.